Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala nabihi wa mustafah wa ba'd. Praise be to Allah alone. We all praise Him and we seek His help. Whomsoever Allah guides is the truly guided one, and whomsoever Allah leaves astray, none can show him guidance. My dear viewers everywhere, happy and blessed Ramadan to all of you. May Allah the Almighty grant us forgiveness during this blessed month of Ramadan, pardon us and make us amongst those whom He will ransom and free from hellfire, and admit us to paradise through the gate of Ar-Rayyan. By the grace of Allah, this is going to be our very first live episode of Ask Huda during the blessed month of Ramadan, 1438 after the migration of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I would like to welcome you and also remind you with our phone numbers, area code 002 then 0100 546 9323, alternatively area code 002 then 0238 132. The Facebook page is Dr. Muhammad Salah Official. I'll be more than happy to start collecting your valuable calls and concerns. And once again, happy and blessed Ramadan to all of you. The first question is from Dawood Al-Zahiri. Dawood says, in the month of Ramadan, if you pray in congregation, you get 70 times more reward. Is it? But what about women? They don't even go to the mosque. Do they get the 70 times more reward even if they pray at home? First of all, I would like to bring to your attention that the statement that you mentioned earlier is concerning a hadith collected by Ibn Khuzaymah. I'd like to share the hadith with you, but before I share it, I would like to tell you that this is a weak hadith. This is a weak hadith. The hadith says that the Prophet ﷺ said, there has come to you a great month. Allah the Almighty have ordained its fasting and made its night prayer recommended. And He said, whosoever does khaslatun min al-khayr, like a voluntary good deed, it will be rewarded like a faridah, like a mandatory act of worship. And whosoever does a mandatory act of worship, it will be rewarded 70 times more. This is a very weak hadith. The sound hadith in this regard is what the Prophet ﷺ said, there has come to you a blessed month. In it, Allah the Almighty opens the doors of mercy, and in another narration, open the doors of paradise. فُتِّحَتْ فِيهِ أَبْوَابُ الْجَنَّةِ وَغُلِّقَتْ فِيهِ أَبْوَابُ النَّارِ. And all the gates of hell will be shut down and closed. Then وَصُفِّدَتْ فِيهِ الشَّيَاطِينَ. And in another hadith, مَرَدَةُ الْجِنِّ, which means the Satans will be chained during the blessed month of Ramadan. In another narration, Maradatul Jinn, the most rebellious of the jinn, will be chained down during the blessed month of Ramadan. And that explains why there are some Satans still during the month of Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yaqub from Guinea. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, ya Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Happy and blessed Ramadan to you and to your family.
Thank you, you too. Yeah, Sheikh, I have two questions today. My first question is about someone who has a credit card debit. I mean, some cash to pay on the credit card. Can he go for the Hajj and while he's paying the monthly fee on that credit card, or also car loan, something like that? Meaning, this loan are from, let's say, Western country. It's not from a Sharia financial banking or something like that. My second question is about the writing, I don't know, the testimonial for someone, for the family members and so on. Is it permissible that someone has another house or business, he writes something so that those two things goes to the children. I mean to his children. So something like that. I don't know if that is permissible from the Sharia point of view. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother Yaqub from Guinea. Assalamu alaikum. Yusuf from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum, brother Yusuf.
Wa alaikum assalam.
You sound like you're fasting. Wake up, my brother.
Assalamu alaikum, ya Sheikh.
Now we're talking. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, Sheikh, my question is, in our masjid here, because it's rainy season in Nigeria now, anytime we're asking the mosque to make research, what happens to our Taraweeh when we combine Maghrib and Isha? Are we going to join together Maghrib, Isha, and Taraweeh? This is what I want to know.
Why do you combine Maghrib and Isha?
Yes. No, if we combine Maghrib and Isha, do we still join together at the same time with Taraweeh?
My question is, why would you combine Maghrib and Isha?
Because of rain.
Because of rain. Okay.
Yes.
I got your question. All right. Thank you, brother Yusuf from Nigeria. So, first of all, with regards to the earlier hadith which I've mentioned, it's a very weak hadith. We know that the good deeds, the reward will be doubled and multiplied during the blessed month of Ramadan and during special seasons, but we don't know an estimate like how much reward and how many times the reward will be doubled. We know for sure there are certain acts of worship that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned a specific reward and a specific number for the magnitude of the reward. For instance, the Prophet ﷺ said to a lady companion by the name Sinan, may Allah be pleased with her, why didn't you perform Hajj with us this year? She said, we didn't have a ride. My husband used one and I didn't have one. He said, well, whenever it is Ramadan, just perform Umrah, since performing Umrah in Ramadan is equivalent in reward to performing Hajj, and in another hadith is equivalent to performing Hajj with me. Sallallahu Assalamu alaikum. Hidayah from Somalia. Assalamu alaikum, Hidayah.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, sister?
Alhamdulillah. My question is, Sheikh, I have a daughter, she's 7 years old, and usually, I don't know, it's about a culture or the Islam. When is the proper age that she can wear hijab?
How old is she?
I lived in USA for 20 years, and all my family, niece and nephew, they all wear hijabs. So I let her wait since she was 3. So since I moved to Cairo, people, questioning, she's too young.
How old is she?
She's 7.
Okay. Thank you, Sister Hidayah. Barakallahu fiki. From Somalia. So, back to answering the question. So, I give an example of how the reward is magnituded for performing Umrah during the month of Ramadan. It is equivalent to performing Hajj along with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Praying during the nights of Ramadan, Taraweeh or Tahajjud expiates all the previous sins. Fasting throughout the month of Ramadan expiates all the previous sins, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. But that each faridah will be dealt with as 70 in any other time, there is no sound hadith in this regard. May Allah accept from all of us our good deeds, pardon us and forgive us our sins. Ameen. Yaqub from Guinea said that performing Hajj while in loan, a car loan, a house loan, a credit card loan, and he said it is a loan accompanied with interest. So can I go for Hajj? You can always go for Hajj if you want to, if you have the means. The question is, what is the priority? The priority is to settle the debt which is interest-based loan. In the hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says من حج فلم يرفث ولم يفسق رجع كيوم ولدته أمه. He who performs Hajj and avoids al-rafath, which refers to a husband and wife relationship while in a state of ihram, and al-fusuq refers to every rebellious act or every sin. If the person performs Hajj and avoids that, he returns home as pure as the same day he or she were born. You are still involved in a major sin, one of the most terrible sins, which is riba. Settle your debt, pay off your debt, even from the Hajj fund. That is given the priority so that you go to perform Hajj, inshallah, when you have the means and you don't owe any riba. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hassan from Turkey, assalamu alaikum.
How are you, Sheikh?
Doing fine, brother Hassan. How are you?
Yes, thank you. I have a question for you, Sheikh. Actually, my question is, it's not related to the Ramadan, but I really feel sorry for that, and I thought that it may be appropriate to ask you for that. I saw in the news that, Malik Salman made a
Habibi Hassan, brother Hassan. Okay, I know you from the last year, and I know a couple others who will be calling from Iraq and here and there, mainly you and a couple other brothers. Our channel is struggling to present this program. People haven't gotten paid. We are at risk of disconnecting the signal at any moment. Do not please waste our time. This channel does not air any political programs. We're not funded, we're not supported by any prince, by any king, by any country whatsoever. So spare the time for the viewers who want to learn their deen. There are many of other channels who deal with politics. You're most welcome to address them. Here we're very humble community. We can barely introduce something to benefit the Muslim community to the best of our ability, alhamdulillah. We're not being sponsored or funded by any big kahunas or any politician or any government. So please spare our time. Thank you, appreciate it. Now, the following question of Brother Yaqub from Guinea is asking about wasiyah or the testimony, the bequest, the will. In the same ayat, in the same rub'ah which was talking about fasting, Allah the Almighty recommended writing down the wasiyah. كتب عليكم إذا حضر أحدكم الموت إن ترك خيرا الوصية. Al-wasiyah means the will. That whenever the person passes away, if he before his or her death have written certain requests, I would like my inheritance to be divided as follows: 1/3 to be given to an orphanage, 1/3 to be given to da'wah cause. Any wasiyah, it should be within 1/3. That will be paid to those who are not heirs. And it is not permissible to write a wasiyah or to favor any of the heirs with any extra thing under any circumstances whatsoever. That is because the Prophet ﷺ said, لا وصية لوارث. If you have 3 or 4 children, that you're not allowed to favor any of them. After your death you say, give my son extra this house or this shop or this car. Rather, they will get their shares as Allah the Almighty divided their shares for them. So rule number 1, to give a wasiyah to those beneficiaries, whether a school, a hospital, a masjid, a continuous charity project, within 1/3. It shouldn't exceed that. Then for the heirs, you can simply say, I advise or I request that my inheritance to be divided according to the Sharia, and that's it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Farzana from India, assalamu alaikum.
Can you hear me, Sheikh?
Yep, assalamu alaikum, Sister Farzana.
How are you, Sheikh?
Doing fine.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak to you and to your family. Thank you so much, Sister Farzana.
Thank you. Sheikh, I have 2-3 questions. One question is, When I'll be reading Quran, can I stretch my leg for a little while? Is it permissible? And my second question is, normally they said in the evening near Maghrib time we should close the window. Can we open it after the Maghrib Salah is over? And my third question is, when I'm going for the Tarawih near to my place, it's in the house, and
Okay. Sister
so
Farzana,
I don't know whether I should
Sister
continue
Farzana,
that prayer.
we didn't hear you for a while. Please repeat your third question back.
Okay. Actually, I'm going for Tarawih in the house where ladies are doing it, and they are reading the witr, the last witr. They are sitting in the second rakat. So normally we should not pray like a Maghrib Salah. So please guide me whether I should pray this witr along with him, or I should skip that and I can come home and I can pray. So please advise me for
All right.
this.
Thank you, sister.
And please remember, for each and every, for the Ummah in this world, for the better for them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should give them strength to fulfill the requirement what we are supposed to give it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Ameen. Ameen. Ameen.
And thank you very much, and for all Huda programs, they are giving me really lot of I can say encouragement for me to improve my faith. And I believe it is improving me. And moreover, your programs, which is live videos, that is also giving me so much encouragement. I can't tell you. Especially the Ramadan one which you have told, and you have given the plan. Believe me, it was very helpful for me. I don't know about others, but believe me, it is helping me. And mashallah, I have fulfilled that one today, because in India today is the first Roza.
Okay.
Okay, and so that's what I have done. I have done that according to your plan, what you have given in the live video program. And inshallah, I will do my best, whatever the best I can do it. And please remember for us. Jazakallah for the time you have given.
Ameen. Thank you, Sister Farzana. You made my day, mashallah. May Allah bless you and your family. Very constructive phone call, mashallah. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Zakaria from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Brother Zakaria?
Alhamdulillah, Sheikh. We are really enjoying your program.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Wallahi, we are enjoying your program. May Allah bless you, and may Allah bless Huda TV.
Ameen, ameen, ameen.
Sheikh,
Yeah, go ahead, Brother Zakaria, please, if you have any questions.
My question is regarding ideas.
You know, it would be very helpful if you mute your TV and hear me and talk to me from your handset. That would reduce the echo and the statics.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. My question, sir, is an issue of ideas, sir. I want to know whether somebody can use donated egg, whether it is permissible in Islam, and if it is not permissible, I don't know egg, Sheikh. I want to know whether it's allowed that somebody can use a donor egg, because once we've been to hospital with my wife, and she's been told that she cannot use an egg, but she can only conceive if she uses a donor egg. And so I would like to help us clarify this issue. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you, Brother Zakaria. Jazakallah khairan. Okay. So, brothers and sisters, following up with Yaqub from Guinea, that within your life, make certain that whenever you give a grant to any of your children, you gotta be fair. Give each and every one of them the same, if it is something significant. There are some exceptions, like when somebody has a handicapped child. So maybe he will give him an extra shop because he knows that he needs some financial support more than others. This is an exception, and I doubt that any of the children would object to that. But in ordinary circumstances, the person must be fair and should not give any of the ears something more than others. What if the person in his bequest requested something or wished something which is not legitimate according to our deen? It will be neglected. It will be waived right away. So with regards to the wasiyah, if somebody said 50% of my inheritance to go to this school, to this masjid, to this orphanage, then we'll look into the heirs. Do you guys approve that? If they approve it, or else it will be reduced to only 1/3. Only to 1/3. If he still broke the rules, and if he gave any of the heirs something extra, an extra share, whether to his wife or any of the children, that will be void right away. We don't have to consult the heirs because it is against the Sharia. It will be void, and we will resort back to the same distribution that Allah the Almighty described in the Quran, particularly in Surah An-Nisa. Assalamu alaikum. Luqman from Singapore.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, may Allah bless you, Sheikh.
Same to you, brother Luqman. May Allah bless you and your family. Thank you so much, and happy and blessed Ramadan to all of you.
Ameen. Thank you, Sheikh. I want to ask two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Is it sunnah to break the fast with 3 dates, or there are no particular number?
Okay.
And same goes for the suhoor.
Okay.
Okay, the second question is, for the kafarat, if I have not enough money, do I need to fast 3 days consecutively, or can I break the fast?
For the kafara, for the kafara of the oath, you mean?
Of the oath, yes. Do I need to break fast 3 days consecutively?
Okay, got your question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're most welcome. Barakallah feek. Brother Yusuf from Nigeria had called earlier, and he asked about combining Maghrib and Isha and Taraweeh. Look, what do we combine and why? Whenever there is a heavy rain and we're afraid that we will not be able to come back for Isha, so in this case we combine Isha along with Maghrib. We pray Isha and Maghrib at the time of the earlier one. But if it is already raining, and if it is very difficult for people to go to the masjid, and if it is very risky, then you're exempt. You don't have to. At-Taraweeh is sunnah. You can pray it in congregation, you can pray it at home, you can pray it in the masjid, depending on where you find your heart and where you have more khushu' and tranquility. So, if you guys have agreed that you still come during the rain to pray Isha and you pray Taraweeh, fine. But in this case, pray Maghrib at home. Pray Maghrib on time. Do not postpone the Maghrib to be combined, because you can still pray Maghrib. Combining the two prayers will be because of a reason, such as a heavy rain, as you mentioned, that we started Maghrib prayer and it started raining. So the Imam thought, you know what, it may last for an hour or two, it may be very slippery, so you guys pray Isha and don't have to come for Isha time because of the heavy rain. But to delay the Maghrib until you pray it along with the Isha, I don't see there is a reason. Thank you, brother Yusuf from Nigeria. Sister Hidayah from Somalia, she asked about what age should a girl start putting the hijab on. What determines all the mandates that a man or a woman should fulfill, all the obligatory acts, the fara'id, is attained in the age of puberty, whether it is prayers, fasting, or hajj. You know, a zakat does not require the age. Even if he's underage, like he's an orphan and he's got wealth, his guardian will pay zakah from his wealth, even if he is a child, as long as his wealth is zakatable. Wearing hijab for a girl at the age of the puberty, once the girl attains the age of puberty, it becomes compulsory, it becomes required. Okay, يا أيها النبي قل لأزواجك وبناتك ونساء المؤمنين. نساء المؤمنين, she's now one of the women of the believers, she's grown up at the age of puberty. So there is no specific age, rather it is once the girl witnesses the menses at the age of 13, 12, 11, 10, or even 9, it happens. So if it happens at this age, then hijab becomes like the prayers, like fasting, like the rest of the mandatory acts of worship. In case that the girl is grown up, mashallah, and she still did not experience the menses, in this case she is recommended to wear hijab to cover her awrah. Barakallahu feekum. My dear brothers and sisters, let's take a short break and we'll be back inshallah in a few minutes for some more. Please stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. I would like to remind you quickly with our phone numbers. You should appear on the bottom of the screen. Area code 002, then 010054693323. Alternatively, same area code, then 002 002-023-855-132. We have Fazira from India. She had 3 questions. Number 1, with regards to stretching one's legs while reciting the Quran in order to take a break. Is that permissible? Yes, it is permissible, because if you do stretch your legs, this is not a sign of not respecting the Quran or anything. So if you feel like stretch your legs, you want to cross legs, all of that is permissible, no problem. Even if you're stretching your legs towards the Qibla, by the way, that's not forbidden. The second question is opening the windows at night. Is it permissible to open the windows at night, in order to get some breeze? Let me take this call first, then I'll get back to answer your question. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Yusuf from Gambia.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum. Gambia. Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, alhamdulillah. Yusuf.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum, Yusuf.
Yes, I'm very happy about you.
Well, I'm very happy you called in. It will make me happier if you mute your TV, please. Okay, if you hear me now, inshallah, next time when you call, and all the viewers, my dear brothers and sisters from Nigeria, make certain that you mute your TV set once you pick up the phone and you're talking on air, because it creates static and a lot of echo. Thank you. Barakallahu fikum. I would like to explain to the viewers where our sister is coming from. There is a sound hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ said that there are certain etiquette that have to be observed at night, because once the night falls and it is dark, this is the time excuse me, for Satans to spread out in the streets. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith which is narrated by Jabir ibn Abdullah, may Allah be pleased with him, he said, Kufu subyanakum, at night, once it is nightfall, once it is sunset, take the kids home, do not let them wander and play outside in the dark in the street. He said, إذا كان جنح الليل أو أمسيتم فكفوا صبيانكم فإن الشيطان ينتشر حينئذ فإذا ذهب ساعة من الليل فخلوهم. So the restriction is at the earliest part of the night, like between Maghrib and Isha. This is when Satans are spread. Then he also said, وَأَغْلِقُوا الْأَبْوَابِ, unlock the doors. And he said, وَاذْكُرُوا اسْمَ اللَّهِ, mention the name of Allah. فَإِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لَا يَفْتَحُ بَابًا مُغْلَقًا. You know how people in the past used to live and they keep the doors open all the time, and people walk in and out, and so on. Some even homes did not have doors. So the Prophet ﷺ said, at night, close the doors, take the kids inside, especially at the earliest part of the night, at the nightfall, اذكر اسم Allah, because those who enter the house and they do not say Bismillah, they do not make mention of the name of Allah, Satan and his company will enter such house and will create mischief and corruption in this house. They can actually lead the person to divorce his wife, make the household fight even over dinner, over anything, and they hurt each other. So you say Bismillah upon entering your house and keep Satan out. وَأَوْكُوا قِرَبَكُمْ وَاذْكُرُوا اسْمَ اللَّهِ. In the past they used to have leather bags for water. So they would leave them open. The Prophet ﷺ said, أَوْكُوهَا, يعني tie the mouth of the leather bag which contains water, tie it up so that no insects would fall in it. And they used to drink directly from the mouth of the leather bag. And somebody happened to drink and there was a scorpion in it. So tie it, fasten it in order to avoid insects falling into it. And he also said with regards to some of the etiquettes at night, to put out the light. What light? Not the light bulb, not the fluorescent light that we have. It is pertaining to the light which was made of oil, the oil lamp. فَإِنَّ الْفُوَيْسِقَةَ, referring to the rat. It happened to drag the light and it can catch fire and burn the whole house while people are asleep. وَأَطْفِئُوا مَصَابِيحَكُمْ. And the hadith is collected by Imam Bukhari and Muslim. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Musa from Nigeria.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Musa, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How's the Ramadan?
Wonderful. Alhamdulillah, couldn't be better. May Allah the Almighty accept.
In the process of Salat, what is the best option? Is it to hold your arms on the chest or make your hands go down?
Okay.
As the Qabli and the Sadli. My second question is, which is the most appropriate for a woman? To go to the mosque and pray with Tarawih or stay at home, despite the proximity of the masjid?
All right, got your questions, Brother Musa. Brother Abdul Qadir from United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Welcome to the program. I'm doing fine, alhamdulillah.
Ramadan Mubarak to you, Sheikh.
Barakallah feek. May Allah bless you and your family. Same to you, brother.
Sheikh, I have a short question on Zakat.
Yeah.
Let's say I have 500 grams of gold, and in my family I have my wife plus a newborn daughter. So the nisab level should be per person or is it per family? I believe the nisab level is 85 grams of gold.
Correct.
So in short, if I have 500 grams of gold and if I have two persons, one is my wife and one is my daughter, so should I calculate the nisab level of 85 grams into two person and then pay zakat for the balance amount of gold, or how is it like?
Okay. Thank you, Brother Abdul Qadir, for a quick access to this question, because it is very important and a lot of people are paying their zakah today, tomorrow, and after tomorrow in the beginning of Ramadan. Your wife's position is independent. So if your wife's gold is maybe 80 grams, she doesn't have to pay any zakah. Okay? You don't combine yours and your wife's. For the daughter, if you are giving her this and it's still in your possession, like in your name, then it is yours. But if you decided that is her possession and it is under the nisab and you don't have an access to it, you're not going to take it, that is a grant, then you don't have to pay on the gold that you gave to your daughter if it is under the nisab. Okay? Also, it is worth of mentioning here with regards to zakah on women's jewelry, there is a difference of opinion. Only Imam Abu Hanifa is the Imam who says that women should pay zakah on their jewelry. And this is what me and my wife and my family do. We follow the opinion of Imam Abu Hanifa in this regard. We pay zakah on our jewelry. I mean, if you have any, of course. Okay, so also the Prophet ﷺ said, وَخَمِّرُوا آنِيَتَكُمْ وَاذْكُرُوا اسْمَ اللَّهِ. If you notice that every time he says something, he said, اذْكُرُوا اسْمَ اللَّهِ. Mention the name of Allah. خَمِّرُوا آنِيَتَكُمْ. Some people eat, they eat their sabr, and when they finish, they leave the food uncovered. No, cover it up. if you don't have even but a stick or a knife, you put on top. Anything so that Satan would not come near your vessel, your plate, your dish, or whatever food that you left. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Adam from Gambia.
Okay, I am hearing you.
Yeah, Adam. Okay, try again, please. No problem. So what about opening the windows? The Prophet ﷺ said, close the doors. That applies to the windows, yes. But you want to open the windows for breeze? No problem. You want to open the windows because there is smoke, for any reason, that is permissible. The recommendation is for security. Once you feel safe and secure, okay, and there is no fear that something may enter from the window, no problem. And also the Prophet ﷺ has said, with regards to the first hour, the first part of the night, this is when Satan's become like, they get loose. Then afterward, it is okay. The following question is, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Adam from Ethiopia. Assalamu alaikum, Adam.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, ya Sheikh.
How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak to you and to your family. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Mute your TV, Adam, please.
Yeah, Sheikh. I have some question, ya Sheikh.
Brother Adam.
The first question is that what is the Islamic ruling on the person who having sexual intercourse or relationship with his one's wife during the administration, and what could be this person to do to forgive his Allah?
Okay, got it, Brother Adam from Ethiopia. Sister Farzana, her third question is a very important question. Very important question, and right on time. She says that if you pray Taraweeh with the Imam in the masjid, and he prays a Hanafi, he's a Hanafi Imam, so he prays the witr, the Hanafi style. He prays 3 rak'ahs all together, and he sits for tashahud after the second rak'ah. That is similar to the Maghrib. And we all know that the Prophet ﷺ said, لا تشبهوا الوتر بالمغرب. Don't you pray witr similar to Maghrib. And the formats in which the Prophet ﷺ prayed witr is either 3 all together, that is permissible, without tashahud, without taslim in between, only 1 tashahud and taslim by the end, that's permissible. Or you pray 2 rak'ahs with tashahud and taslim, then you pray 1 rak'ah with tashahud and taslim. According to Imam Abu Hanifa, it is not permissible to single out witr with 1 rak'ah. So, this is the Hanafi format. We normally, when the callers are asking what is the proper way is to pray either 2 tashahhud, taslim, then 1 by itself, or to pray the 3 all together, and you do not sit after the middle, after the second rak'ah for a middle tashahhud. Okay, that is disliked. And according to Imam Shafi'i, this is makruh. So now, if the Imam is praying this way, what shall I do? Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, who many people think that he's very fanatic and he's very extreme, he says, if you happen to follow an Imam like that, join the Imam. Similarly, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, similarly, Imam Malik and Imam al-Shafi'i. Oh my God. So those Imams, even though they differed with Imam Abu Hanifa, because there is a hadith, it says, do not pray witr like Maghrib. But if the Imam is praying witr this way because he is following the Hanafi madhab and you are a follower, follow the Imam. So there is the best way and there is another way, which is by another madhab, and we know now for sure that it is disliked. But guess what? We have in the practice of the Prophet ﷺ the best example. This is what Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah and Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal have been teaching us. They're saying what? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam have chosen al-Mafdul over al-Fadil for a reason, for a wisdom. Like what? I'll give you an example after this call. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Abu Bakr from Gambia.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I'm calling from Gambia.
Go ahead, Abu Bakr. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm just trying to agree with you for the month of Ramadan and the whole crew of Huda TV.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Happy and blessed Ramadan to all of you.
I'm very happy to have Huda TV with me in Gambia, because this is teaching a lot of things that Islam perspective, and I'm enjoying. I don't have questions, but I'm just watching it directly.
Great to hear that. MashaAllah. Great to hear that. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you so much. May God bless all the crew TV.
Thank you, Abu Bakr. Jazakallah khairan. Appreciate your call. Let me give you a couple examples. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to Aisha radiallahu anha that the people, Quraysh, have built the Kaaba, but not on the original foundations of Ibrahim alayhi salam, because he ran out of fund. Now the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, after conquering Mecca, he's got the fund, he is capable to build the Kaaba in the most fancy way, but he did not do it. He said, لولا أن قومك حديث عهد بكفر. Simply because your people are new to Islam. I don't want to cause any confusion. So he kept the Kaaba on its original foundation, and now we see the Hijr, the arch around the Kaaba. This segment, or at least a few yards out of it, is supposed to be within the building of the Kaaba. The Prophet ﷺ did not do it because he was afraid that will cause confusion to the people who are new to Islam. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, one of the great companions of the Prophet ﷺ, and he is considered to be the main inspirer of and the mentor of Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud performed Hajj during the Khilafah of Uthman ibn Affan, may Allah be pleased with all of them. Uthman ibn Affan used not to shorten the prayer in Mina. He used to pray full. So Abdullah ibn Mas'ud objected to that. He said, I did perform Hajj with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he used to shorten the prayers in Mina. So the companions saw Abdullah ibn Mas'ud praying behind Uthman ibn Affan, and he prayed full. They asked him, you objected and you said, I saw the Prophet ﷺ and this is the Sunnah, so why are you following him? He said, Inna al-khilafa kulluhu shar. Because differing amongst ourselves is all evil. So if there are two different opinions, even one which is guaranteed 100% correct, and another is following the other one, even if not only if he's the Imam, I'll give you another example. So if you are a follower, follow the Imam. In Shafi'i, Imam Shafi'i prescribes qunut after Fajr. You happen to visit Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and the Imam is making qunut after Fajr. Join the Imam. Even though the vast majority of the fuqaha believe that it is not the Sunnah, it is not prescribed. What else? They also said that if you are the Imam, and you know that if you lead the prayer in Taraweeh, in any of these localities where people believe, according to Imam Abu Hanifa's school of thought, that you should pray Maghrib in this format, pray it in this format. Not to create trouble in the community, it is nafilah. While maintaining peace, keeping the integrity of the community is a wajib. I know that there are a lot of callers. Unfortunately, I will not be able to take any calls in today's episode because we ran out of time. I can basically take one or two questions if the director allows me. Brother Zakaria from Nigeria, the egg donors, the sperm donors, all of that is not permissible. We said in vitro fertilization based on taking the wife's egg fertilized by the husband's sperm under very strict conditions is permissible due to necessity. Otherwise, those donors and take a sperm from a sperm bank or egg from an egg bank, or even hiring the womb of another woman, this is not permissible whatsoever. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to what is best. We ran out of time and there are other programs and commitments, so we have to wrap it up. I will see you tomorrow inshallah, brothers and sisters. at the same time an hour earlier, and every day from Sunday through Thursday of every week. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest.